welcome to my video on interpreting the stories of the abandoned with stories to tell. I have a story to tell you. Happened a few years ago. I was teaching an interpretation course for a nature center, and we went on a walk and along a trail, and we were looking at spring wildflowers, pretty much like we might be doing today. And as we crested a trail, the people on the tour saw an old farmhouse that was sitting back off the trail. Looked like it'd been there about 80, 90 years, falling apart, abandoned by its owners. And an amazing thing happened. The people on the tour really didn't care about the wildflowers as much as they cared about the old falling down farmhouse. Because even though it was abandoned years ago, it still has a story to tell. And so the people on my walk wanted to know, well, how old was it and who built it and how do they farm a landscape like this when it's full of trees? And of course, back 100 years ago, there weren't any trees there. They want to know what happened to the people and who were the people and where did they go and why did they have to leave? Why did they have to leave their home? And so for the longest time, they were flooded with questions. And I learned a lesson that sometimes the things that people have the most interested in are the things they know the least about and want to know the most about the stories that were left behind long after the place was abandoned. A long time ago, when I was just a kid, I was walking along a little creek in a city park in Mansfield, Ohio, and I came upon this. An Indian grinding stone. Somewhere along that creek bed in that city park, there was a small village, or people were there grinding corn, making their meals, because that's where the fresh and running water was. The village and their site was long abandoned. What remained was a stone full of stories to tell about who used it, when they used it, and why they left it. Because these kinds of tools were important 100, 200 years ago. They were hard to make, and they were often passed down throughout the family, mother to daughters. So there's a story there. About 2 years ago, I was working in Greece, and we were by an old mine entrance that had been abandoned about 2,000 years ago. And this and pieces like this are on the ground. It's a piece of silver ore, and that abandoned mine had a terrible story to tell because the miners were slaves from captured campaigns. And once a miner went into that mine, they would never ever see the outside world again until they were dead. And as 100 dead miners left the mine, 100 live miners entered the mine. So, an abandoned mine with thousands of human stories to tell that we can tell from a reminder of those times gone by. Everything has a story. This is a gaming block uh, from Cahokia Mounds. Nothing's left there of the site except the mounds. The people are gone. Uh, we're still trying to find out who they were and why they left. We're full of sites, cabins, abandoned factories, all kinds of sites all around us that were left long ago, sitting quietly with nothing but a story to tell. And that's the job of the interpretive storyteller, and that's the job of this course. My name's John Vaverka. I'm the director of the Heritage Interpretation Training Center, And I developed this course because I'm stuck here at home with the coronavirus having us sequestered, and I had a lot of chances and a lot of time to think about other courses I'd like to develop. And I thought that this course in storytelling about interpreting the abandoned, the left behind, would be something that interpreters might find a useful course to take. So I hope you have a chance to look at the course outline. And if you like telling stories about the cultural and natural history of our wonderful world, no matter where you live, I think you'll find this course to be a useful tool. And I think you'll find you'll a storyteller. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you think about the course. Bye bye.